Okay, so in the last video, we finished setting up the structure of our site. Let's take a look at our website just so we can kind of see where we're at and some of the different things we're going to need to add. So here's our site with our header, our bold white text, our large image here in the middle, our navigation bar, and then our main content area along with our footer. Now let's go ahead and start to style our page so it'll go ahead and look like that one. First in the header area, I'm going to start to just add my text. So I'm going to say my first website. And then in the navigation area, because we're going to style this with CSS, you need to first make this an unordered list. And lists are very common things online. To set this as an unordered list, all I have to do is highlight my text and then select right here unordered list underneath the structure area. Just so you know the difference, ordered list is dots, unordered list is dots, ordered list would be numbered. So everything would have would be a number. It doesn't really work with what we're doing here, so I'm just going to change it back to unordered list. And let me go ahead and add in what are soon going to be my links. Home, about, hobbies, and contact. Alright, so page is starting to take shape a little bit more. One thing I do want to remind you of is go ahead and save things as much as possible. You never know when your computer's going to go out or whatever else, so all we have to do is a quick file save, or if you're in a Mac, Command S. Alright, now in my main content area, I'm going to go ahead and add in just some filler text. This is something I just went ahead and did a quick Google search for some filler text, and when we open up that file right here, I'm just going to take a few paragraphs right out of here. And I can change this later, but I just really want something so I can get the look of what that text is going to be like. So I'll select this and just copy over, save that. The page is starting to take shape a little bit more. If you remember, I had a subhead right here that said welcome. And once again, let me save that. In the footer area, I had a little bit of text and then I changed the background. So our title of our site, my first website, and then put digitaleded.io. Let me go ahead and add that text into my first website, digitaleded.io. Save that. Alright, so we have our text. There's a few other stylistic things we need to do with HTML before we drop in our photos and add some CSS. We need to set this to be the largest text element on our page because it is our headline. If we select something, and you probably started to notice this properties area down here at the bottom of the page, different things will come up depending on what type of content we select. But when we select text, we get certain options just for, changing our text. So I'm going to go select this and drop down to where it says format and select H1. And you can see we go from paragraph H1 all down to H6. H1 is the largest size, H6 is the smallest headline, and then we have paragraph and paragraph text. This not only changes the size of our content, but also tells web browsers what the title of our page is, what our subhead is, and some of those kind of things. So I'm going to go ahead and just select H1. You'll see right over here on the left it adds H1 code around our title. And I'm going to go ahead and select welcome right here. And where it says format, go ahead and select H2. Alright, save that out. Page is still starting to take a little bit of shape here. Let me go ahead and drop in some photos. Photos are a pretty important thing in web design and definitely a pretty important part of working with Dreamweaver. I have a couple images that I want to use with the site. One, you probably recognize this as my basic header image that I've cropped to 1000 by 500. And then I have a background image that I got off subtlepatterns.com. I'll go ahead and put a link below that site. Just a nice site to add for you to be able to find backgrounds and things like that for your sites. I'm going to open up my root folder and I'm going to create a folder within that folder for my images. So I'm just going to call IMG, and this folder will contain all my images. I want to be as organized as possible within my root folder, because the bigger and bigger my site gets, it'll just be a lot easier to find content and be able to navigate around. So once I have those dropped in, I'm going to go ahead and close out that folder. And I want to add my main image in right here. So I'm going to select this text and just delete it. And I'm going to go common, image, and click my images folder and select header. Great, so I have my header in here right now. The site's starting to come together. I'll save it again. And let me go ahead and drop in my background pattern image. So to do that, I'm going to go modify, page properties, and I'm going to go ahead where it says appearance and just select background image, browse my folder, and select this tix.png, hit apply, and go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and switch just to design view so I can get a better look at the website right now. So it's kind of on track. We can see the main image here. We can start to see areas where we're going to add a little bit more content on our site. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to style this out and add colors to the different divs on our page.